Once again, I was asked a question via TikTok DMs. This one has come from the fan perspective on TikTok, who has asked me, first of all, about our attack, and then has also asked just about the future on whether we sell them and how we're going to kind of potentially adapt to time without them, despite, of course, how early they come into it. So I think there's a few things we need to talk about, so let's get straight into it with this. So first things first, our attack, I absolutely love it. I think what we've got this season as opposed to seasons prior is that we've got creativity in the middle of the park and with our wing backs off of Glennon and what was Shane McLaughlin, but unfortunately he is now injured. But I think the thing that we have with the attack now is that we can create things through the middle of the park with the likes of Antwi, with the likes of Whitmore and whatnot in that middle of the park. They're able to hit the ball out wide towards Bobby Kamwa or whoever's playing on the right, whether it be Antwi in certain games, whether we had saw, of course, Nathan Wood at the beginning of the season, or potentially even Spellman when he returns from injury. But I really like the attack. I think Courtney Baker-Richan is the kind of striker that we need to link that attack and those wingers together with the rest of the midfield. I think it's very fluent and we have so many options to create things to where it's very positive. It is very positive up front. Now, I think the only thing that we don't really have an abundance when it comes to the attack is depth in terms of strikers and like-for-like replacements. However, when Cardbo's back, I'm sure that'll not become as much of a problem. But then moving on to the main part of this, of course, about the future of the likes of Bobby Kamwa, Kai Whitmore, those high quality, really good starting players that we've got now that we may sell on when their 2-year contract expires. I talked about this briefly on a live stream, but I love the way we went about business of signing players who are younger on a free, allowing them to develop, and whether it even be keep them long term or sell them on. It's a very stable and very solid recruitment policy if you can get it right. And there's been many teams that have done that kind of recruitment policy and have had that intent of buying players, allowing them to develop, and then selling them on. And I do think that is what we're doing with the likes of Bobby Kamwa, Kai Whitmore, Antwi Spellman, all these other players. I think that is something we can do. And in terms of, I guess, a comment about where the future could be, what I'd hope is that we can almost repeat this process and repeat the cycle, and potentially, if we get enough money from transfer fees, we can maybe bid for players that stay within this profile of young, unproven, but potentially have more of a ceiling that they can hit. So, yeah, I actually think we've got a relatively stable squad, and I would expect someone potentially like Kai Whitmore or Bobby Kamwa to stay just a bit longer than their 2-year contracts. But of course, it does depend on the kind of projections of the club alongside their individual playing careers. But there's a lot of things to look forward to with this. I do think that we'll be in much of a better state, 3 years down the line than we are currently. And even at the minute, I think we're in a very, very good and stable position. But of course, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments and keep these questions coming. I'm really enjoying making these videos.